your host, Will Pascal.
Other host, Christopher Smith.
And I'm John Fitzgerald.
Today we're going to talk about a short story called Lightweight Champ by Juan Villoro. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to pull questions from you guys, the viewers, and we're going to analyze it to the fullest extent.
So first of all, for everyone who didn't read the story, Lightweight Champ, it talks about a boxer named Ignacio Barrientos, or Nacho for short, who had a promising career and the accolades to prove it. The story was told by his childhood friend, who was a journalist and a drug addict who came from poverty, and who most people would think ended Ignacio's career, which was ignited by guilt for the both of them.
Alrighty, let's go on Twitter. First question is from Gertrude Kimball from Connecticut. Was boxing more than just a sport to Nacho?
Good question, Gertrude. I believe that it was obviously an addiction rather than just a sport he performs in. So I think that he uses it as an escape plan to run away from his fears. But in his situation, it's more of a hard kind of comfort because he goes through all this adversity throughout his career, and he's also on the verge of retiring, so that makes it even worse, putting more pressure onto his career.
That's true. However, he wouldn't be holding the lightweight title if he was merely someone's punching bag in the ring. I mean, he was a fighter, and I do agree with your statement about him taking hits instead of dishing them out. But sometimes you have to be patient in the ring, which requires him to take hits.
I mean, but like the narrator said in the story, Nacho, he soaked up punishment stubbornly, and so to him, boxing was more. It wasn't more of just taking hits; it was more giving out blows. So in this story, he. So I disagree with you. First of all, because you know when you look into the story, as a reader, you don't really know the background of Nacho, so you can infer that he's always turned into boxing. He's always turned to boxing whenever he goes through hard times, and as a reader, you can't really back down from that.
I mean, I understand that, but coming from the perspective of a former boxer like myself, I know it's more than just the mental part of the game. I mean, he clearly does have some personal issues going on, which affects his fighting, but at the same time, he already has his own unique technique, which makes him separate from other fighters and makes him the fighter he is.
Touche.
Okay, for our next question, we have Ray Mott from Atlanta, Georgia. What do you think the true addictions are in the story?
All right, Ray. Well, I feel like there are numerous different types of addictions in the story, both physical and mental. When I say physical, I mean the narrator's addiction to drugs early on, which was clearly stated, and I also saw how Nacho was technically addicted to boxing. And when I say he was addicted to boxing, he took it more than just a job, but as a personal lifestyle, which ended up being like an escape plan for him, which Chris stated earlier. And I feel like it was becoming less of a profession and more of a handicap to him.
Yeah, and so like when reading the story as a reader, you ask the question, what is the narrator's goal? And so like in this story, I felt like the narrator was so addicted to Nacho in his career that he was like in the story he kept mentioning writing a biography of him and just talking about him and on a personal level. I mean, of course they're childhood friends, but he's so addicted to his lifestyle and his career and what he does in his life. So I think that's one of the additions for the narrative.
I hope you guys are liking this show. Stay tuned after this short commercial break. We have the next question from Patrick Long from Detroit. What are the narrator's true feelings towards Nacho?
Good question. I have to say, it seems like his whole focus was on Nacho. And especially for someone who's supposed to be a reporter, it just seemed really weird to me. We already know Nacho isn't a great fighter, and his record already shows that because it's so subpar. And for somebody that's supposed to be a reporter, that's supposed to be covering boxing as a whole, not just one fighter. Especially for someone that's not even like the undisputed champion of the world. I mean, you need to move on. You know, like please pick another story.
Yeah, and the narrator, he wants Nacho to be idolized instead of just being recognized for like fame or anything like that. And he mentioned in the beginning that he doesn't know why it's like that. You know, why isn't it he idolized? And sometimes throughout the story, you question if the narrator is on Nacho's side or is he, against him. Like in the story when he runs into his girlfriend, he told her to, leave him, and be with me. And as a narrator, I don't think that's cool, and that's just, to me, that's just not right.
I agree. Okay, folks, our last question. Whose life was more consumed by guilt? Nacho's or the narrator?
I think that this is a question everyone wants answered. I believe the narrator is more consumed by guilt than Nacho because it wouldn't be told if it wasn't. So I think that he's doing what Nacho has been doing for the longest, which is using something that you love the most and uses it to find your escape plan, in order to make your life better, I guess. So like in the story, Nacho, he went to boxing obviously to run away from his fears and guilt. And I feel like the narrator is trying to do the same thing and envisioning his childhood friend suffering and telling his story and just trying to make him feel like that he's doing the right thing. So
Well said. Will, do you have anything to add?
No, that's all I can add to that is good job. I agree.
Alrighty. Well, that's all our time. We'll see you guys next time on Story Center.